Today's video is going to be all about how and why I started my business. I feel like this video is going to be like a good foundation. I know I already started my business series for you guys, but I want to give you more of a backstory of how and why I did it. I will be doing another video on how to start your business, the steps to take, but I'm going to tell you guys because I went through a lot of trial and error, so I figured this would be a good video to start with before I started getting into like vendor list and all those other videos that I plan on filming for you guys.
Nah, picture me rolling, tip of my chauffeur. Niggas look jealous, you gotta control it. Reaching my quota, mixing my soda, feeling connected to God, trying to get closer.
Hopefully I'm gonna try not to make it too long because I can talk a lot and ramble and stuff, so let's just get into the video. I want to do a separate video on like my work history, just to kind of give you guys like a feel for what I did before. But I'm just going to tell you guys my last two jobs. I worked in hospitality, so I worked in hotels. I had 2 hotel jobs, and then I ended up quitting those jobs and I started working for an office job, and it was a law firm, a family law firm, so they dealt with divorces, child support, a bunch of crazy stuff, crazy people. So those are my last 2 jobs. I worked for a Holiday Inn. I'm giving you guys all the backstory. That's not what this video is about, but this is telling you guys why I started my business, because yeah. So I worked at a Holiday Inn. It had like 100 and something rooms, so it was bigger. I worked there, and then I worked at a smaller hotel by the beach. I live in San Diego, so it was a really nice, cute little small hotel by the beach. I worked there. I worked both of those jobs together for maybe 4 or 6 months. I want to say it was around 6 months, and then I was like, okay bro, I can't do this, like there's no way. So I was waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was working, for the most part I was waking up at 4. Sometimes I'd wake up at 6, depending on what job I worked first and the hours. Pretty much there's a morning shift, a night shift, and then, or morning shift, afternoon shift, and then a night audit. So I was either doing morning and then night at the other one, or it was flipped around. For the most part I'd wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd work from 4, I'd be up from 4, I'd work there till 2 p.m. and then from 2 p.m. I'd go eat, drive to the other job, work from 3 to 11:30, and then I would get home at midnight. So that was just tragic. And then I started working at the law firm. My first 6 months I loved it, and then I was just kind of over it. It was super stressful. This time last year, you guys, I literally had bald spots. I will show you guys the pictures of my bald spots because I don't want you guys to think I'm being dramatic. No, I literally had bald spots. And I was just super stressed out. I was depressed. I had anxiety. And my job was pretty much like, you can work through my freaking bald spots. And I was like, no, I'm going to the doctors. And then come to find out, I was having small panic attacks at work. And I was just miserable, you guys. I was miserable. There was so many different things that like basically went on, and I didn't care for like the whole law firm, the fact that it was like a family law firm. Didn't know what I was signing up for. Had never worked for a law firm before. I was miserable, you guys. And then that office job, I had always wanted to work an office job. I didn't realize how boring it was sitting at a desk for 8 hours. I started there as a receptionist, and then I moved to finance, and I was a finance assistant, and then I ended up working as that position for 6 months, and then they decided they were cutting back on a lot of different positions, and they didn't want an assistant anymore. So that's when I got let go, and now we are here. But that was pretty much the job that I was like, okay, you know what, I'm fed up, I'm done, I can't just quit this job. So by the grace of God, universe was pushing me towards leaving that place. I wanted to quit so bad, you guys, but I was like, you know what, I gotta thug it out, I can't quit. But I was like, while I have this steady income, I'm gonna start my own business. I originally was gonna start a lash company because I felt like that's what I could afford, and I had already looked into, I always wanted to be my own boss, you guys. That's basically why I started my business. And now I'm going to get to how basically I did it. So like I was saying, I was going to start a lash company because starting a business had always been an idea of mine, but I never had the confidence to actually start, and I was never fed up at work. Like, I'd be like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this and then maybe something will happen. But I wasn't taking the steps to starting a business or doing anything. I've always done YouTube. I've been doing YouTube for a long time, but I've always wanted to have YouTube as my full-time job. But I'm like, what can I do to be able to focus on YouTube as my full-time job and also make money? So that's when I was like, okay, I want to open a small little boutique. Lashes, I love makeup, but I'm not obsessed with makeup. And I just thought to myself, what is something that someone would say, like, that people can tell that I really, really love? And everybody knows, anybody who knows me knows that I've always been into fashion. I was like, I want to sell clothes. But I was like, you know what? It's so competitive. Even before Fashion Nova, there was Forever 21 was booming. Charlotte Russe was booming. Like, I was like, clothes was going to be way too hard. And then I remember when Elsie from OOTD Fashion, when that started being created, and I was like, that's so cool. Like, this girl started her own store, but social media wasn't that popping back then. So I was like, it just was always an idea, but it was never anything that I was like, that I felt like I could do. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I should just start off with lashes. So I started coming up with how much money I needed. I started coming up with like lash names. I started thinking of ideas of like an aesthetic. I started thinking of names for my business. I wrote all this stuff down, you guys, and I had it in a little notebook. And then I was even contacting vendors and stuff, and I kind of just pushed it to the side. I was like, this was when I started dealing with like my anxiety, depression and stuff, and I was like, you know what, F the lash thing, like I need to focus on myself. My grandma was sick, and I was like, I can't, like, I'm not gonna start a business right now. After I went through like my anxiety, my bald spots and all that stuff, maybe like a month later my grandma passed away, and I just seen her and I was like, you know what, she is on her deathbed, and do you think she's worried about this office job or any type of job she had like 50 years ago? No, she's not. So like, what am I doing? Like, life is short. I'm gonna start my business, and I'm gonna do clothes because that's what I want to do, and who cares what anybody says? Like, who cares about anything else? I'm just gonna do it. What did I start doing? I started doing a lot of research, and I originally was going to open my boutique with one of my best friends who's no longer my friend anymore, so I'm super glad that I decided not to. I didn't have a lot of money, so I felt more confident having her with me to start the business. She was like, okay, like what do we need to do? I was basically doing all the footwork. She was kind of just throwing ideas out there. So I was like, I just didn't have a good feeling about it. Like, I didn't feel like she was all in with it. I didn't feel, I don't know. And then I felt like I kept having to ask her, like, do you like this? Do you like that? And I basically wanted to start my business so that I can answer to myself. So I don't have to ask anybody anything. I don't have to answer to anybody. So I wouldn't recommend starting a business with a family member or a friend, but I'm going to go through the whole do's and don'ts. That's another video I want to do for you guys, and like my trial and error. So I basically told her, I think we had went to the fashion district, and she had bought, I don't know if she bought anything. I forgot. I paid her money back for something, but it was like, it wasn't that much. It was like $70. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start small, and I'm gonna start by myself. Like, it was a lot of work, and I also felt bad. I didn't want her to put X amount of dollars and then it not work out, and I'm gonna be like, ooh, sorry, like, it didn't work. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it by myself. I'm gonna do it with a little bit of money I have. Even if I have 2 clothing items up on my website, I'm just gonna start small. So I decided to cut her completely out. Told her I was gonna start small. I was figuring out the back end part, so like how to get my LLC, how to register, what if I should get my LLC, to get a PO box, the website, all that stuff. I was figuring all this stuff out. Let me see. So the whole bald spot thing, you guys, let me give you the timeline. The whole bald spot thing and anxiety and all that, that was like September, October, and then November my grandma passed. And then December, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna start my own, well, I decided to start my business with my friend. And I had been doing research from January all the way till May until I decided that I was gonna launch. And I had planned to launch for summer in June, and I didn't launch until August 13th, I think. So there's the time frame of all of that. So I did a good 6 months of research, maybe even longer, because I was still like dealing with a lot of different things and I was working. And so I was figuring out where I was gonna get my clothes. I didn't have a lot of money at first. I was like, okay, you know what, my budget's gonna be $500. I ended up getting a loan. To consolidate my debt, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take an extra $1,000 out of that, or extra $500 because I had $500 saved for the business. I'm gonna take an extra $500 to spend on inventory, more inventory. And so I started my business with $1,000. You do not need, it was shaking. You do not need $1,000 to start your business at all. You can start your business with $500, and I would suggest not buying a lot of inventory until things really pick up, because I'm here stuck with like a lot of summer inventory. I'm obviously gonna use it this year, but I feel like I bought way too much inventory. So I started my business with $1,000. I started basically just taking pictures myself as I would normal. I'd ask all my friends to share it. I was taking pictures of some of my friends in some clothings. I decided to do PR and reach out to a few friends that I knew that had a larger following. Even some people who didn't have a larger following, I reached out and I sent some things out too. And yeah, for my name, when I was picking out a name, I was still planning on doing my boutique with my friend, so she did help out with the name a little bit. I wanted my name to have meaning. I didn't want just to have, first I was gonna use my name, and I was like, you know what, that's so like, I don't know, it's just I wanted something that had meaning and something that I could brand and really make my own, and not so specifically use myself, you know what I mean? I wanted people to feel like it was their brand too, if that makes sense, like their company as well. I don't know if that makes sense. So I ended up coming with, actually before I did all that LLC stuff, you guys, I thought of a name. So I thought of my name, and this was when Nipsey died. So I was like, I thought of Victoria's Secret, you know how they have pink? Well, I was like, well, what about blue? Like, I love the color blue. Pink's my favorite color too, but I love the color blue. I love a light blue. And I thought blue, and then my friend was like, okay, well, let's do blue, but let's take out the E. So she did help with that. And that I was like, okay, let me think of different things that blue stands for. I was like, blue means loyalty. Blue could mean blueprint, like a plan, because you always need a plan before you start anything. So I just wanted my name to have a lot of meaning. I business searched my name on this website, which I'm gonna help you guys with all of that in a separate video, but I business searched my name. I made sure it wasn't taken. I looked it up for my LLC, and that's pretty much how Blue the Collection came about. I'm trying to think of any stuff I can add. I thought this was gonna be a super long video, what kind of is, but I thought there was gonna be more to add. No, there's not. I pretty much wanted to inspire people with Blue the Collection, everything that has meaning. I just didn't want to do like outfits and that's it. I pretty much, that's why I put quotes under stuff. I post videos for you guys. If you guys are not following my boutique, you guys can follow it now. It's called Blue the Collection. You guys can shop now. This bodysuit I'm wearing is part of the Valentine's Day collection that we launched. So it's been fun running my business. I'm gonna start doing videos for you guys. Kind of just wanted to explain to you guys like how and why I started my business, and like so that I can do like do's and don'ts for you guys. Like I told you guys, I stopped working maybe 4 months ago by the grace of God. I was like so overworked, but I was like, you know what, I can't quit. And then when they let me go, and I was like God is really looking out for me. God be looking out for me all the time, you guys, because I didn't even know how I was gonna come up with the money for my Valentine's Day collection. I was like, and God really comes through. Like, I literally pray every night, you guys. I pray for my business. I just show gratitude as well. I know this video is everywhere now, but I'm just kind of touch base with some things on my business. I have this little well, not little, this is a big notebook with all my stuff for my business. This was my business notebook, but now this is my business notebook. This is a lot more cleaner, and this will be the new one for 2020. So I'm very organized. I have all my inventory in bins. Maybe I can do a separate video on how I show you guys how I organize. I am gonna do a video this week. I'm waiting for some pictures to be edited for my new, look at our little what are these called? Flyer cards. I'm gonna show you guys how to make these. I'm gonna show you guys how to make business cards. I don't have any business cards on me. I freaking suck. You guys, so many people compliment me on my outfits and like certain pieces from my store, and they're like, where did you get that? And I'm like, I don't have my business cards. So I'm going to show you guys how to make business cards and bring your business cards with you. I feel like we're in 2020 and I'm like, who uses business cards? But no, they're, instead of telling people like, oh, it's from Blue the Collection, drop the E, like, no. So yeah, that's pretty much how and why I started my business. I kind of want to just give you guys this little video. I was talking to an old friend from high school. I'm gonna leave her Instagram on here because she is fine and she's trying to get herself out there, and she's one of my new models. And I was just talking to her about like how and why I started my business, and she wants to start her own business too. So I feel like I can help and inspire you guys, not only her but other people, with telling you guys about my experience and my business. I mean, I've been wanting to do this and stuff, but since I talked to her, I think it was yesterday, I realized like, dang, there's a lot of people who want to start their business and stuff, and I'm not far deep into it, but I pretty much already have my layout and stuff, and I feel like that's the hardest part, is the layout and all that. I mean, pushing the product and stuff is hard too, but just getting started is super overwhelming, and it could just be, I don't know, like, you doubt yourself throughout the whole process. Like, even in the beginning, I was like, when I started my store, I was like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? And then I like have all this stuff, like I can't stop. We'll see how this video goes when I edit it, because I feel like I talked a lot, and yeah. I don't even know how to end this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The next video will either be a try on haul showing you guys how to style our new pieces, and then I'm gonna do like a cozy try on haul for the winter items I bought in December. So those will be 2 try on hauls with Blue the Collection stuff. If you guys aren't following us, follow us now. You guys can follow my Instagram with Love Desiree, and I will see you guys in my next video.